day of July 2026, we were expecting the delivery of a judgment in a matter that we filed almost 6 years ago under the instructions of the Rastafarian Society of Kenya, challenging the constitutionality of certain sections of the Narcotic and Psychotropic Act. This is an act of parliament that was enacted in the year, sometimes the year 1991. So today, we are rather disappointed by the finding that the court has made. Well, that is the finding of the mind of the court, and that is well within the rights of my Lord Justice Bahati Wambui. Though we feel unhappy, we feel unhappy because that court, the Constitutional Court, is the last bastion, is the last, bastion of hope for the Rastafarian Society of Kenya. It was hoped, against all hope, that decision will free the Rastafarian Society of Kenya from the stigmatization that it has experienced over the years, from the frustration that it has also experienced over the years, and of course the frustrations that have often come with the arbitrary arrests, sometimes the illegal searches and intrusion to their privacy. So we had hoped that this will mark the end of it. Unfortunately, my Lord Justice Bahati Wambui has arrived at the conclusion that those provisions, those provisions are sound in law. Well, we live in a constitutional democracy. The court can do that. Our constitution actually perceives of a situation where the courts can fall into error, and after falling into error, we have other 3 men or women at the Court of Appeal who are given the responsibility, constitutional responsibility, of correcting that error. If at all the error is replicated, that was made by the High Court is replicated at the Court of Appeal, we still have 7 well-able, well-learned and well-educated men and women sitting at the Supreme Court of the Republic of Kenya, and they have the responsibility of creating what we call our local jurisprudence. Local jurisprudence goes to appreciating the place of Rastafarian society in the Republic of Kenya. So the fight is not over. The willpower that we had is not also lost. We have another opportunity which we are going to explore. In the fullness of time, we shall be filing our notice of appeal at the Court of Appeal as an indication of our intention to appeal against this judgment. I must equally mention that my Lord Justice Bahati Wambui has not had the opportunity, and I think this is because of his pressing works at the Kiambu law courts. He has not had the opportunity of reading the whole judgment to us, for us to understand in full flavor the reasons why he has arrived at the conclusion he has arrived at. So he's equally mentioned that he's going to make the judgment available to us in the next like 30 or 40 or even an hour. So once we have that judgment, we're going to read and understand why did the court find that, number one, these provisions of the Narcotic and Psychotropic Act are not overbroad. Because as far as we are concerned, the provisions that we challenged, they unreasonably eat into the private space of anybody, Rasta and any member of the public, if you want to enjoy and consume marijuana. Number 2, they have a right to religion. And number 3, because they do not do so alone, they have a right to associate with others. And while doing so, while associating with others, there are certain practices that they practice. If you go to church and for some reason you do not want to partake in the sacrament, it is for your own doing. But if the practice of the church is to give the sacrament to whoever so desires, whoever has attained the age and probably the knowledge of knowing the repercussions of taking that sacrament, that should be made available to them. So we have disagreed in principle with the judge, and we respect the decision, but we disagree with my Lord, and we are going to take this thing to another level. And in the fullness of time, it is also very dark when it's about morning. Yes, so in the fullness of time, the struggle that we began 6 years ago is going to realize something.
Yes, sir.
We must also compare ourselves to other jurisdictions We have seen in other republics, for example, our brothers and sisters who are now chasing other Africans in South Africa. So in South Africa, in Ghana, the struggle took about a decade. We've only taken 6 years. So we still have time to fight. We are going to ensure that if they took a decade, we are going to take about 7 or 8 years. And we are going to realize what we want. We just want our constitutional democracy to be realized. We want everybody to be reasonably accommodated. If you are a Muslim, you must find your place within the Republic of Kenya comfortably. If you are a Christian, you find your place comfortably. If you are a Rasta, find your place comfortably. If you are a Hindu, if you worship a cow, that is your problem. So that is as far as I am concerned. But Mr. Here, there is